Okay. Okay. Mike Johnson. His job. We're going to program the chariot as his job and see where it falls. See where it falls. Hi, Karen. Hi, Lucky. Yes, I am still up, actually. I was just recording all the other ones that I forgot to record. And no, we're live. And I said, well, I'll do the tableaus live instead of recording those. So here we are. I got a few more, so we'll do some more lives in the future, but we'll do just this one. And on his job, as I said, the job will program as the chariot. See how it falls. Okay. Oh. His job is in-house moon. Moon is suspicion and plots. So the butler done it with the candlestick in the library, apparently. So we'll see. Mike Johnson. Let's move this out the way. Uh-oh, come back. Stay. I said stay. Okay. So, the world, the high priestess, the tower, the judgment, the strength. There's a new investigation, too, happening, or some sort of new search, some new wandering, some new searching for answers type thing. This is very plottish, though. Hermit in house fool, fool in house tower, tower in house empress, empress in house temperance, temperance in house death, death and lovers, lovers in hangman, hangman and devil, devil and hermit. So it's very plottish, and there's a few people sort of out to get him. This is not just some MTG message type of thing. There's some people out to get him, but he knows this, mind you. And so he may be having some conversations behind the scenes with some people trying to get some answers and some things done there. But the world, the high priest of the tower of the judgment, the strength, there is some talks here or some sort of statement Interesting. There's an announcement that is going to be made here about an agenda that is passed, quite strong within the government. It causes a lot of turmoil within, though. So this is possibly about the budget, because the strength is in House Emperor, Emperors, and Hierophant. So there is something within the government and his position, and that causes a lot of turmoil, which just solidifies the fact that those even against him are also against the country. They want it to fail, because you're holding the rest of us hostage so that you can play chicken with somebody. So whatever this announcement is that was made there causes him a lot of turmoil. Death, Magician, the Hierophant, the Devil, the Emperor. So there is some sort of change to his power within the government, and it is being caused by treachery or some sort of schemes here with the Devil card. There are some against him, again, as we know that, and the Emperor has something to do specifically with his power. There's something else on the docket. I don't know what else is coming up for them, but there's something else on the docket. They are trying to pressure him. And I don't think he's going their way on that one either. So there's that. Wheel of Fortune, the Lovers, the Temperance, the Empress, the Hangman. So time, and he will gain some allies here. They are quite two of the faced. Beware of dog right there. Hangman and House Devil, Lovers and House Hangman. Your allies, they got 4 knives in each hand. So beware, buddy. But that's the company you keep, because that's the game you play. So, whatever. Hi, Adrian. He's not. 1.5 flat. The Fool, the Sun, the Chariot, the Moon, the Star. Your Katie is chasing the stick. The Fool, the Sun, the Chariot, the Moon, the Star. There is a his job right now is secure, but it is still under attack, because there's just a new thing that they are sort of laser light focused. I said we'll program the job as the Chariot. It's in House Moon. Moon is in House Sun. Sun is in House Star. So they got something, and then Star is in House Judgment. They got something here. There will be an announcement by someone, some woman here within the government who keeps a lot of secrets. There is a woman here who will make an announcement, something to do with your job in the future. Not that she can take it, but she will make some sort of announcement. What kind of announcement? Some sort of announcement about you being suspended. So removed. Suspended power, strength, sort of overcoming. That doesn't mean it's going to be successful, because in the world is the justice, so you will find balance. So I think he'll still be there, but you're going to have a lot of treachery along the way, because again, up here, your little announcement or you're working with the other side causes upheaval. Upheaval is in House Empress. The Empress is in House Temperance. Temperance and Death. Death and Lovers. So your allies, again, are not to be trusted. Lovers is in Hangman. Hangman's in Devil. Devil's in Hermit. Hermit's in Fool. Fool's in Power. So it's they're plotting. Well, she's plotting. This woman here. Within the government, High Priestess and House High Priestess. There's a lot of secrets, and a lot of secrets around you as well. There's something around the manipulation of a lover. It's not a person outside of his marriage. It's just a weird thing within them. Well, I shouldn't say weird. To each his own. It's a weird, I'm going to say weird anyway. There's a weird thing within the marriage itself. And this is not bondage kind of weird. This is like like she has to pretend to be somebody else, because this is my card for dressing up. And so there's something, but it's not role play. It's like something weirder than that. They have a very odd compoundish 9 families live here type of life. It's like I can't. This is just, it's anyway. Moving on. The world, the death, the wheel of fortune, and the fool. Mistakes are made here. There's something that you were supposed to have learned from. If this was here, the wheel of fortune, then the world. Do you see here in the wheel of fortune? There are the 4 fixed signs of astrology, right? 1 for each of the elements. They all have books in them, because the wheel of fortune is your stage of lessons. This is where you are to learn the lessons. The wheel speaks the law of life, as they say. And so you are to learn your lessons here. And if you see here in the world card, they have no books, and they're like fully formed into their zodiacal symbols, because they have learned lessons here. This is the card of completion, card of change, card of completion. So this is like your cocoon and then your butterfly. If that were there, then he would have learned something. If this is here, that means lesson is not learned. There was something that you should have learned, world and house magician. This is something to do with your power or talent or something, your thing, that your reach as speaker. Something you should have learned. There was a change, and then the lesson now needs to repeat. And then there's the fool. So you're sort of out on your own here. You're losing allies. And then the ones that are around you are treacherous. Beware of dog. Because if you go to your allies, they're in house hangman. Where's hangman? In house devil. So your allies are not to be trusted. They have a perspective change. They're easily swayed, because he's in house devil, devil's in house hermit. Hermit's in house fool, tower, empress. It's a lot of them. They're in abundance. And they can be easily swayed, and they're easily swayed against you. Because again, right there, you make some sort of mistake. What kind of mistake? Here would indicate you didn't protect someone. This is secrets. That's manipulation, then change. Someone's not protected, so someone gets outed here, and you let that happen, or you're blamed for it. What did they get outed for? Because you see the tower is right next to the tower is a card of exposure. There's something to do with the aiding of Donald Trump. That's what they get outed for. And that's under investigation currently. So you were supposed to protect somebody there, and you did not. The high priestess, the magician, the lovers, and the sun. Again, there's something very strange around your personal relationships, but whatever. There's also, again, secrets, allies. He has somebody on the other side, too. On the Democratic side. This is almost like a secret alliance. That person, I shouldn't say secret on the other side. It's more like he talks to them, and then the rest of them don't know, or not the rest of the Democrats, but the rest of the Republicans don't know. The people he's supposed to be on the side with, because this is the Lover's card. The Lover's card is your like-minded people, but it's in house hangman. That's on the other side. So you have people on the other side that you are working with, and then there are people that you are supposed to be working with if you were doing the whole draw the corporate line type thing. And they don't want to work with Democrats, but he's working with them. Now, this does not mean he gets a badge for being guy good for today. No. This just means that as of right now, he has an ally on the other side. And then Sun is in House Star, so it's a super positive thing for the progression and for the future. So there's that. So it's not a bad thing. It's just only a bad thing if you want things to stay the way they are in turmoil and discord. The Tower, the Hierophant, the Temperance, and the Job. There is some revelations or some upheaval of a governmental position, but it gets healed and you move forward. So somebody's coming for your job, and they're going to continue to do so. Tower, Judgment, Devil, Hierophant. This is going to continue. It's going to loop because the Judgment goes around and around and around. And each time it does change a little bit, but it goes around and around. They got 1 year to try to get you out, and they're going to try multiple times. It may not be in public, but they're definitely doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. But Tower, Upheaval, Judgment, Repeating, and then the Devil and the Hierophant, the good and the evil. Judgment, the Devil, the Empress, the Moon. And there's a woman here. She's planting some stories too. Like she's got a dirty tricks campaign. She's planting some stories. And I hate to continue to be so salacious. Maybe I don't hate it, but there is something around a relationship that may be strange to others. Maybe that's what this is here. Because, okay, the High Priestess is in costume, if you will, because this is the Popess. And that's why that is my cross-dressing card as well. There might be one of them things to where the woman puts on the suit and he puts on the dress type of, I don't know. It's something very strange around, I shouldn't say strange, but I'm going to say strange around that. This person plants stories about your relationship, your lover's card there. That person plants stories, plots and schemes. And I ain't saying they ain't saying the truth. I'm just saying they plant stories. And this is not necessarily something that just damns you all to hell, but because you can just easily deny it, because how do we know, right? But at the same time, there it is. Judgment, the Devil, the Empress, the Moon. The Moon is plots and schemes. It's also illusions of the mind, getting you to believe, especially when you have the liar right up above it, getting you to believe, and this is announcements in what I just said. So we shall see. There's that. Empress is in house Temperance. So there's like an abundance of reconciliation for some reason there too. Maybe that's because you work with the other side. But Temperance is in house Death. Death is in house Lovers. Lovers in Hangman. Hangman and Devil. Devils and Hermit. Those relationships still go very sour, very south. Someone is trying to get people to see you in a different light. And that's where all these plots and schemes and crap come out. That's why your job is in house Moon. They want you to seem unfit. Not just unfit, but maybe a rhino, to where you're not really Republican either. They let the thing go about your bank accounts, because this would be your fortune. Fortune is in house Justice. Justice is in house World. The World, that means it's done, completed. They don't care anymore. That's in house Magician. Magician in house chariot. Chariot in moon. Moon is in sun. Sun is in star. So they don't really care about that anymore. And they may have planted that story too. But nobody really cares about that anymore with all these weird money things you got going on. But the next thing is going to be your love life. And so look for that. Or something around your friends too. Okay. Strength, Emperor, Hangman, Star. You have your position is quite secure so far. The future, it becomes a different thing because I think you'll all lose the house. So it will become a different thing in the future. But as of right now, there's no one overtaking you. As of right now. This is not months ahead. This is possibly, all of this is possibly coming up in the next month or so. Because mind you, y'all got a thing where y'all keep eating your own and your lead is going to go away quite quite quickly. And I mean, if you ain't careful, you guys will eat your way out of the lead and you'll be the minority. Which I say go right ahead. Why not? The strength, the devil, the temperance, the sun, there is going to be some sort of successful, what do you say, completion of, you can't complete sobriety, but it's overcoming an addiction of some sort. Because the strength is overcoming, there's the devil, there's sobriety, and then there's success. So there's some overcoming an addiction of some sort here. So maybe that's him and his pornographic addictions or something. I don't know, but there's an addiction there. Let's see what we can get. I think it is. It's something to do with his diet. I think the Empress governs the body and the health things of that, or nature as well, or something that you do in abundance. This is not like sexual in nature because you would need this over here somewhere. I think it's something to do with his diet. So he's kicking something there. Well, good for you. Maybe he's taking Ozempic too. The Judgment, the Hierophant, the Lovers, and the Fool. There is a want, a need, a desire to endorse Donald Trump. At least they want you to. I guess he probably already has, knowing him. But they're looking for you to do that because there's your announcement, Judgment, office, position, Hierophant, government, allies, Fool. So the announcement somewhere in the government for that person. The Tower, the Magician, and the Wheel of Fortune. There is some bad luck coming to something you're trying to do or trying to manipulate around finance. Maybe you're trying to work something into a bill. That gets defeated, though. There is some exposure to of a that's probably another one, an exposure of a person in government who manipulates quite heavily. That person currently works there in the house, supposedly an ally, or at least they used to be. That changes. That person is not currently in trouble just yet, but there's a lot of stories about them. This person's older. Female, too. So we'll see. There's a man here, too. A man and a woman. They have this has something to do with trading or money or stocks, something of that nature. Man, woman, man in house, wheel of fortune. There's something to do with stocks and money. And then there's the devil and the hangman and house devil. So there's something evil about it, if you will. Thank you, Michelle. There's something quite treacherous there. They may get caught up in this, mind you. So this may be a bigger deal than just a story, because they may want to know what you're going to do about it or what kind of motion you may bring to these people and those people as the speaker. Like, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to say anything to them or what? And he may not, or he may, but again, your allies are not your friends. Given the chance, they'll stab you in the back, the front, the sides, the earlobes, and everything in between. He's got some donations coming too from someone new. I don't know if he's going to try to run or help somebody campaign or something. There's some sort of money coming to him. There's a company too. So they're greasing his palms for something. Because this is for contracts and things. Buying a politician. It comes out there, but because there's the abuse of power, it comes out, but that doesn't have any immediate legal ramifications or anything like that. It may just be a story because the tower is about exposure, but it's forced. It pops out because somebody dug it out, not because you offered this information. But I don't think it goes all that far. Wheel of Fortune is in house justice. Justice is in house world. World is in house magician. Magician is in house chariot. Chariot is in house moon. So it doesn't really go all that far because the details are murky, but it's about his job and the thing he did while he was in that position. Moon is in house sun. Sun is in house star. Star is in house judgment. Judgment, house emperor. Wheel of Fortune. So it's about his job and it's about his position. He abuses it for financial gain as well. But again, details are murky and it does not go all that far. But it does get exposed right there because it's in abundance. This is not the first time. He's done this a couple times. Well, not a couple, but a few times because it's in abundance. And this may be pharmaceuticals too. There's some sort of pressure put on him too, when it comes to Roe v. Wade, or something to do with fertility and birth, like that, and health care with fertility and birth. There's some pressure put on him specifically. So maybe they're trying to bring something into the House, some new things, some new bills, some new talk, some new discussion, something of that nature. I wonder too if he is done with trying to be speaker after this. You have the world magician, so completion, power, temperance, moderation, and then the moon. You go off into the unknown type thing. I wonder if he's done after this. Too many vipers in the pit, I say. Um, Watch where you're going to while you walk or drive, because there's a road trip here. You and some woman, or you and your wife, man, wife, road trip. But there's also the potential for accident or something, not fatal, but some sort of accident there too. Or she may suffer some sort of injury from just plain old walking, not paying attention. So beware. There is a child too who has trauma, insomnia, nightmares, or something like that happening. Um, I don't know where that would come from, but it's about, like, they have nightmares about them dying in their sleep or something like that. So I wonder what kind of deeper message that holds. Because that night, but they have some sort of trauma around that, or nightmares around when they go to sleep, they see themselves dying all the time. Being tormented by it. What is this? There, there is okay, we'll just move on from that. There's some sort of this child here. I need to be a fly on the wall in their house for 2 hours. Because I swear, you can come out with 3 books and 2 TV shows out of there. I bet you. It's just this something strange for some change. That one there. Just he's something else. Um, was his wife a teacher? I wonder. I wonder if if she ever was, even if it was just religiously, like a Sunday school teacher, she may want to return to that. There's something in the core of that, though, that is not quite right, that drove her from that in the first place, especially if it was religious in nature. Um, there's when it comes to religion, with the Hierophant and the Devil, and Temperance and the Empress, it is Judgment and the Tower. There's like a doomsday mentality as well too, to where they are literally waiting on the rapture and all that type of stuff. But maybe that's why their child has all that nightmare trauma about dying all the time. Because your will of, not your will of fortune, but your tower, your judgment. Judgment is literally a resurrection. That's what's happening in that card. That's literally the rapture. In the sea, in the winter, the dead, or let me say it right. In the winter, the sea shall give up their dead. That's the verse in the Bible. That's what this is depicting. In the winter, you see the icy mountains. The sea shall give up their dead. The angel calls forth the souls that have fallen for Christ. Those are called first, like those who have died for the cause of Christ, the martyrs, because that's what that symbol is there. The symbol of St. George, who died because he did not give up his religion, or he would not denounce Christ, and so he was killed. So the martyrs rise first. So it's like those who are the believers of Christ is how they're sort of picturing it. But there is, like, out of nowhere, the rapture, but it's like the battle of good and evil, but there is an obsession about it, to where this is no longer religion, it's cultish type behavior. These are the type of people that would all swallow poison because Jesus is coming on a spaceship type thing. So there's something very demonic about the control or the brainwashed part of all this. Very, very. Because you see these here, they all have sort of the same profile. Something lords over you while you either wait or serve, or wait to serve. And they all got their hands in the air like they're part of some sort of grand benediction. So there's some unhealthy attachment there too. Someone around him is pregnant. Hopefully, we don't need no more hymns running around the world. So I don't know how old his wife is, but somebody around him is pregnant. There's a woman in office as well too, that he is going to also try to, he's going to play, I guess, dirty as they are. He's also going to try to scheme against this person. There's something to do with maps as well, like mapping something out, or someone who may have passed out maps or given maps, or I can't say necessarily tours, because Wheel of Fortune would be your map up here, but the chariot is way down here. Well, it does night. But there's, I would say, more maps than I would say tour, but there could be a connection to that too. I don't think that's successful, though, that attempt, but it is there, I would say. And let me see. Um, mm, mm, mm. So his job looks secure. I think that's it. At least that's what I see. We'll see. We shall see. Next one I will do, I don't know when, but we'll look at Wayne LaPierre in the incredible shrinking brain that he says he has and see what his future holds, because he's going to be going to court pretty soon here too, which will be exciting. So thank y'all for joining me this early in the morning. I'm going to go and, I guess, start the rest of my day, see what happens. I will see y'all next time.